My friends, do you see how much energy people waste worrying about a future that does not even exist? You sit here today, yet your mind is running 100 miles ahead, imagining problems that may never happen. Life is happening now. Right now, the sun is shining, the air is fresh, your heart is beating, but are you present to it? Or are you lost in a future that is just a dream? Worrying about the future is like trying to cross a bridge that has not yet been built. You are carrying a heavy burden for a journey that does not exist. Do you see the madness in this? Instead of worrying, act. If you want a good future, do what is necessary today. The tree that will give shade tomorrow must be planted now. The success that will come in 10 years is built on the choices you make today. Above all, trust life. The same force that makes flowers bloom, the same intelligence that turns a seed into a mighty tree is also guiding you. Why should you fear? If you align with life, it will take care of you. So drop your worries like dead leaves. Walk lightly, live fully, and when tomorrow comes, you will see it was never something to fear. It was just waiting for you to arrive, free and ready. Live today. Everything else will fall into place. Imagine you are standing on the edge of a vast ocean, looking into the horizon. You can see the waves crashing, the sky stretching infinitely, but no matter how much you try, you cannot see beyond that horizon. This is how the future is. It is a vast open possibility, not a solid reality. Yet most people live as though the future is a fixed script that is already written, something that is bound to happen in a certain way, and this belief, this illusion, is the very root of their suffering. The future does not exist in reality. It exists only in the mind. It is not something tangible that you can touch, taste, or experience right now. But still, people spend countless hours worrying about it, fearing it, anticipating it, or trying to control it. This is like sitting in a movie theater and getting so lost in the film that you forget you are just watching a projection. The moment the screen turns off, everything disappears because it was never real to begin with. Most of the time, what people call worry is just an overactive imagination, creating fearful possibilities. You see, the mind is a powerful tool. It has the ability to create entire worlds, entire stories, entire lifetimes within itself. But the problem is, if you do not know how to use this tool consciously, it will work against you. Instead of creating something beautiful, it will create endless fear, anxiety, and suffering. It is not the future that is troubling you. It is your own mind running wild with fearful thoughts. Right now, if you close your eyes and imagine the worst case scenario for your life, your body will react as if it is actually happening. Your heart rate will increase, stress hormones will be released, and you will feel anxious. But if you open your eyes, you will realize that nothing has changed in reality. Everything is just as it was before. This should show you that the future is not the problem. It is your identification with your thoughts about the future that is creating suffering. The irony is, most of the things you worry about never happen. Think back to all the times you were stressed about something that eventually turned out to be nothing. Maybe you lost sleep over an exam result, a job interview, a health checkup, or a relationship issue, only to realize later that your worry was unnecessary. This has happened so many times, yet people continue to fall into the same trap, as if they have not learned from their own past experiences. If you truly look at life, you will see that it never happens exactly as you imagine. You can plan, predict, and prepare, but life will always take its own course. Sometimes it will be better than what you expected. Sometimes it may be challenging, but it is never exactly what you think. So why waste your energy trying to control something that is beyond your control? Right now, what is real? This moment. What can you actually experience? This breath, this heartbeat, the sounds around you, the sensations in your body. Everything else is just a thought. The past exists as a memory. The future exists as an imagination. The only thing truly real is now. And yet, most people spend their entire lives lost in memories of the past or projections of the future, never actually living in the only moment that truly exists. Some people argue that worrying about the future is necessary because it helps them prepare. But there is a difference between preparing for the future and suffering the future in your mind. If you see that it might rain tomorrow, you can take an umbrella with you. That is preparation. But if you sit in your room today worrying endlessly about whether it will rain or not, that is unnecessary suffering. Action is useful, worry is pointless. Animals, birds, and plants do not worry about the future. The bird does not sit on the tree branch thinking, will I find food tomorrow? It simply wakes up, flies, and finds what it needs. The tree does not worry, will I get enough sunlight next week? It simply absorbs what is available now. Only human beings suffer an imagined future simply because they have the ability to think beyond the present moment. But instead of using this ability as a gift, they turn it into a source of misery. If you truly understand that the future is just a possibility, not a reality, you will be free. You will no longer be controlled by your fears. Instead, you will see life for what it is, an ever unfolding mystery that cannot be fully predicted. And once you embrace this uncertainty, you will no longer live in fear of it. Instead, you will move with it like a dancer moving with the rhythm of the music, rather than trying to control every beat. Think of the most joyful moments in your life. Were they planned or did they happen spontaneously? Maybe it was a moment when you laughed uncontrollably with a friend, a moment of deep love, a breathtaking sunset that left you in awe. These moments were not carefully designed, they simply happened. This shows you that life's best moments come when you are open, not when you are worried. So if you truly want a future that is beautiful, stop worrying about it. Instead, focus on how you are living right now. If you take care of this moment, the next moment will naturally take care of itself. And when the future does arrive, you will realize it was never something to fear. It was simply another moment, just like this one. Right now, you are here reading these words. The air around you is moving, life is happening, your heart is beating, and the moment is alive. But where is your mind? Is it here, fully immersed in this moment? Or is it wandering into a future that does not yet exist? This is the greatest struggle of human beings. They are physically present, but mentally absent. They are living, but not truly alive. The weight of what has not yet happened sits so heavily upon their minds that they cannot even experience the beauty of what is happening right now. Think about how much time you have lost worrying about things that never happened. You have spent nights losing sleep over problems that never came, over situations that never unfolded the way you feared. You have spent days distracted, unable to enjoy what was in front of you, simply because your mind was too occupied with an imagined future. And in doing so, you missed life. You missed the laughter of your loved ones, the joy of a sunrise, the simple pleasure of a meal, the peace of a quiet morning. All of this was available to you, but you were elsewhere. This is the great tragedy of unnecessary worry. It steals your present life. If someone were to physically take away a few years from your life, you would be furious. But when worry silently takes away your days, your hours, your moments, you do not even notice. You accept it as normal. But is this how life should be lived? Always waiting for some imagined future to go wrong? Always fearing what has not happened yet? This is not intelligence. This is self-inflicted suffering. Imagine you are traveling on a long road, heading toward a distant destination. The road is beautiful, lined with trees, fresh air, birds singing, but instead of enjoying the journey, you are constantly looking at the map, worrying about whether you will reach your destination or not. You do not see the beauty around you, you do not hear the music of life, you do not experience the joy of movement, and when you finally reach the destination, you are not even satisfied. You immediately start worrying about the next journey. This is how most people live. They are always worried about where they are going, and in the process, they completely miss where they are. Worry does not prepare you for the future. It only destroys your present. Some people believe that worrying helps them stay cautious, but this is not true. Being aware, being responsible, and taking action are useful, but worrying is simply mental noise. It takes away clarity, drains your energy, and leaves you exhausted before anything has even happened. A person who is constantly worried will make poor decisions, not because they lack intelligence, but because their mind is too clouded by fear to see clearly. If you observe children, you will see something incredible. They have no idea what tomorrow holds, yet they are full of life. They jump, they laugh, they explore, they live with an intensity that most adults have lost. They do not sit in worry, calculating all the things that could go wrong. They experience life as it comes with a fresh and open heart. What happened to you? Why did you lose this ability? It is not that life became more difficult. It is that your mind became more entangled. Every moment spent in worry is a moment lost forever. You will never get it back. And one day, when you look back at your life, you may realize that most of your suffering was unnecessary. You may see that all those sleepless nights, all that stress, all those anxious thoughts were wasted energy. But why wait until the end of life to see this? Why not wake up to it now? When you worry about the future, you are assuming that life will not support you. But look around. Has life not been taking care of you every single day? The air you breathe, the food you eat, the body that functions without your effort, everything is working in your favor. The same intelligence that makes the sun rise and the rivers flow is also guiding your life. If you learn to trust it, you will see that there is no need for worry. Some people live as if they must carry the entire weight of existence on their shoulders. They believe that if they stop worrying, everything will fall apart. But this is an illusion. Life was happening before you came, and it will continue long after you are gone. You are not the one making everything work. The earth is spinning, the seasons are changing, and the universe is unfolding without your intervention. So why do you think you must control every small detail of your future? If you truly want to live fully, drop this unnecessary burden. Handle what is in front of you with total involvement, but do not poison your mind with thoughts of what may or may not happen. The future will come as it comes, but your life is happening right now. If you can be fully present in this moment, your future will naturally take care of itself. Next time you find yourself worrying, stop and ask, what is real right now? Is the danger real, or is it just a thought? Is the suffering happening, or is it just my imagination running wild? The moment you see this clearly, you will laugh at how much unnecessary pain you have created for yourself. You are not here to live in fear. You are not here to be trapped in endless worry. You are here to experience life fully, to embrace the unknown with an open heart, to walk through each day with a sense of wonder, not a burden of fear. Drop the worry. Live this moment. The rest will take care of itself. Right now, take a deep breath, feel the air entering your lungs, feel the rhythm of life moving within you. In this very moment, you are alive, and you have the power to decide what you do next. This is the simple truth that most people overlook. They sit and worry about the future as if it is some mysterious force that will decide their fate, when in reality, it is their own actions in this moment that shape what is to come. Look at the world around you. Every tree, every river, every mountain, everything exists as a result of a process. A mighty tree does not just appear out of nowhere. It starts as a tiny seed buried in the soil, nurtured by the sun and the rain, growing little by little, until one day it stands tall, offering shade and shelter. The same law applies to human life. Whatever future you desire is a result of what you plant and nurture today. Yet so many people spend their days lost in thought, imagining all the ways their future could go wrong. They sit still, paralyzed by fear, waiting for something magical to happen. But life does not work that way. Worrying about the future is like sitting in a barren field and hoping for a great harvest without planting a single seed. If you want something to grow, you must act. The problem is, people often overestimate what they can achieve in a short period and underestimate what they can achieve over time with consistent effort. They want immediate results, and when they do not see them, they lose hope. They tell themselves that their actions do not matter, that fate is against them, and they sink back into a cycle of worry and inaction. But if they only looked closer, they would see that every great success, every meaningful life has been built on small, consistent steps taken over time. Think about a musician who plays beautifully. That skill was not born overnight. It was created through years of practice, through early mornings and late nights, through moments of frustration and breakthroughs of joy. Think about an athlete who moves with effortless grace. That strength and precision did not come from sitting and worrying about the future. It came from daily discipline, from choosing again and again to push beyond limitations. Your future is being written not by destiny, not by luck, but by the choices you make right now. Every word you speak, every action you take, every habit you cultivate is contributing to what is to come. If you want a peaceful future, fill this moment with peace. If you want a future of wisdom, seek understanding now. If you want to be strong, practice strength today. But most people live in reverse. They wait for a perfect future before taking action. They say, I will be happy when I succeed, instead of understanding that success is a result of being joyful in the process. They say, I will be confident when life is stable, not realizing that confidence is built by acting even when things are uncertain. They postpone living, waiting for a future that will only arrive if they start moving now. Imagine two people standing at the base of a mountain. One of them stands there looking at the peak, overwhelmed by how far away it is. They worry about how difficult the climb will be, how many obstacles they might face, and so they do nothing. The other person, without hesitation, takes the first step, and then another, and another. They do not waste time worrying about how long it will take. They simply keep moving. Days or weeks later, while the first person is still standing at the base, lost in thought, the second person has reached the top. This is how life works. The difference between those who move forward and those who stay stuck is not luck, not fate, but action. You may not have control over everything in life, but you have control over how you respond to it. You may not be able to change the past, but you can decide what you do now. This is where your true power lies. Not in predicting the future, not in worrying about what may come, but in shaping it through your choices in this very moment. Look at the people who inspire you, the ones who have built meaningful lives. Do you think they spent their days in fear of the future? Or did they take action despite uncertainty? Every great leader, every innovator, every artist, every healer, every person who has ever made a difference, none of them knew exactly how things would turn out. They simply kept walking, kept learning, kept creating. They trusted that the effort they put in today would shape their tomorrow. The universe is not against you. Life is not waiting to trap you in failure. It is simply responding to you. If you move forward with clarity and determination, doors will open where you never expected. But if you sit still, paralyzed by fear, you will see only obstacles. The difference is not in life itself, but in how you choose to engage with it. Right now, if you are filled with worry, pause and ask yourself, what can I do in this moment? Maybe it is a small step, a single decision, a simple action. Take it. Because that one action will lead to another, and before you know it, you will have built something beautiful. The greatest tragedy is not failure. The greatest tragedy is a life wasted in hesitation. A life where potential was never explored because fear was given too much power. Do not let that be your story. You have everything you need to create a meaningful future, but you must begin. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. One step is all it takes to break the cycle of worry. One action is enough to shift your direction. So take that step and trust that life will meet you where you stand. Keep moving, and soon you will realize that the future you once feared is now a path beneath your feet, leading you to places you never imagined. Close your eyes for a moment and think about all the times you worried about the future. How many of those worries actually became reality? How many sleepless nights, anxious thoughts, and stressful days were spent over things that never even happened? And even when challenges did come, were they ever as unbearable as your mind imagined them to be? The truth is, life has a way of taking care of itself. No matter how much you try to predict or control the future, it will always unfold in its own way, beyond the limits of your imagination. The mind is a powerful tool, but when left unchecked, it becomes a source of suffering. It is capable of creating endless scenarios, most of which are negative, fearful, and completely unrealistic. People spend hours thinking about what might go wrong, yet they fail to see how much has already gone right. They ignore the fact that they have made it through every difficulty life has thrown at them so far. Even in their darkest moments, something within them carried them forward, something beyond their worries and fears. If you look at life, you will see that nothing happens randomly. There is an underlying intelligence in everything. The sun rises at the perfect time. The rivers flow without being told where to go, and the seasons change in harmony. The same intelligence that runs the universe is also at work in your life. It has been guiding you, shaping you, and taking care of you all along. You may not always understand its ways, but if you look back, you will see that everything that happened, even the challenges, played a role in bringing you to where you are now. Most people struggle not because life is cruel, but because they resist life's flow. They want certainty, guarantees, and a perfect plan before they take a step forward. But life does not work that way. It is like a river. You can either fight against the current, exhausting yourself in the process, or you can learn to flow with it, trusting that it will carry you exactly where you need to be. Think of all the times you faced something you thought you could not handle. Perhaps it was a financial crisis, a loss, a failure, or a painful experience. At that moment, you may have believed it was the end, that you would never recover. And yet here you are. You survived, you adapted, and in many ways you grew. What seemed like an unbearable storm turned out to be a passing cloud. If you could overcome those moments, why doubt that you will overcome whatever comes next? The reason people worry so much about the future is that they do not trust their own ability to handle life. They think, what if I fail? What if I lose everything? What if things do not go my way? But have they ever asked, what if I succeed? What if I adapt? What if life surprises me in ways beyond my imagination? Most of the time, the mind is conditioned to focus on what could go wrong, never on what could go right. Every successful person you admire, every strong individual you see has gone through uncertainty. They did not have a clear path laid out for them. They faced setbacks, disappointments, and failures. But instead of being consumed by worry, they moved forward with trust. Trust in themselves, trust in life, and trust in the process. They understood that worrying does not change the future, but taking action in the present does. If you observe nature, you will find the greatest lessons on how to live. A tree does not worry about whether it will get enough sunlight tomorrow. It simply absorbs whatever is available today. A bird does not panic about where it will find food next week. It wakes up and does what needs to be done in the moment. Life takes care of everything. The same intelligence that keeps nature in balance is the same force that has been carrying you through life, even when you did not realize it. Worrying about the future is like carrying an umbrella every day, even when it is not raining, just because you fear a storm might come. It makes you tired, it weighs you down, and yet, most of the time, the storm never arrives. And even if it does, you will always find a way to deal with it when the time comes. Instead of wasting your energy on fears that may never become real, why not use that energy to live fully in this moment? Life is not against you. Even in moments of struggle, there is something working in your favor. Maybe you lost a job, only to find something better later. Maybe a relationship ended, leading you to deeper self-discovery. Maybe you faced rejection, only to be redirected to something greater. What you once thought was a setback turned out to be a stepping stone. Life has always had a way of unfolding in ways beyond what you expected. If you can recognize this, you will no longer waste your time worrying about what has not yet happened. Right now, what is missing in your life? In this exact moment, is there any real problem? Or is it just your mind projecting fears about what might go wrong? If you truly observe, you will see that most of your suffering is created by your own thoughts, not by reality itself. If you can free yourself from this habit of worrying, you will suddenly see life as it is, an unfolding journey, full of possibilities. Instead of filling your mind with fear about the future, fill your present with action. Instead of asking, what if everything goes wrong, ask, what can I do right now? Instead of resisting uncertainty, embrace it as a space of possibility. The more you trust life, the more life will support you. The more you let go of unnecessary worry, the lighter and freer you will feel. You were not born to spend your days in fear. You were born to experience, to grow, to move forward with an open heart. The future is not your enemy. It is simply the next chapter waiting to be written, and you are the one holding the pen. So write boldly, live fully, and trust that whatever comes, you will handle it as you always have. Right now, in this very moment, life is happening. The air is moving, your heart is beating, and the world is unfolding around you in 1,000 different ways. Yet, where is your mind? Is it here, fully present, fully alive? Or is it lost in thoughts of tomorrow, tangled in worries about things that have not yet come to pass? This is the great struggle of the human mind. It constantly pulls you away from where life is actually happening and drags you into a world of imagined fears and uncertainties. If you truly observe, you will see that most of your suffering does not come from what is happening right now, but from what you think might happen in the future. Your mind constructs endless scenarios, most of them negative, live, and before anything has even occurred, you are already suffering as if the worst has happened. But has it happened? No. It is only a thought, a projection of fear, yet it has the power to rob you of your peace in this moment. If you look at life closely, you will see that it never unfolds according to your worries. The things you fear the most, the things that kept you awake at night, how many of them actually became reality? And even when challenges did arise, did they come in the exact way you had imagined? The truth is, life rarely follows the script your mind creates. It moves in its own way, beyond your predictions, beyond your control. So why waste your energy worrying about something that may never even happen? Why carry the burden of a future that does not exist yet? If you continue to live like this, you will spend your entire life preparing for disasters that never come, missing the beauty of what is right in front of you. You will spend years fearing situations that never unfold, only to look back and realize you never truly lived. Imagine you are holding a cup of water in your hand. If you hold it for a few seconds, it feels light. But if you hold it for hours, your hand begins to ache. And if you hold it for days, the pain becomes unbearable. The weight of the cup has not changed, but the longer you hold on to it, the heavier it feels. This is exactly what happens when you carry worries about the future. The longer you hold them, the heavier they become. But the moment you set the cup down, the moment you release the unnecessary burden, you feel free. Life is happening now, not in some distant future. Every moment you spend lost in worry is a moment of life that you will never get back. How many beautiful moments have you missed simply because you were too busy worrying about what might happen next? How many times have you sat with loved ones only half present because your mind was elsewhere? How many days have passed without truly being lived? The irony is the future you worry so much about will never actually arrive. Because when it does, it will not be the future, it will be the present. And if your habit is to always worry about what is next, then even when the future comes, you will still not be at peace. You will simply replace one set of worries with another, never realizing that life is slipping away while you remain stuck in your mind. If you want to experience life fully, you must learn to be where you are, not where your thoughts try to take you. This does not mean you ignore responsibility or avoid planning for the future. It simply means you stop torturing yourself with unnecessary fears. It means you trust yourself to handle life as it comes instead of exhausting yourself with imaginary problems. Look at nature. Does the river worry about where it will flow next? Does the sun hesitate before rising? Does a flower refuse to bloom because it is afraid of what the weather might be tomorrow? No. Everything in existence follows its natural rhythm, unfolding moment by moment. You too are part of this great rhythm of life. But instead of flowing with it, you resist, overthink, and fill your mind with needless anxieties. The problem is not the future itself. The problem is your attachment to how the future should be. You want certainty, you want guarantees, you want everything to go according to your plan. But life is not bound by your plans. It moves with its own intelligence. And the more you try to control it, the more you suffer. True peace comes not from controlling the future, but from trusting the process of life itself. Think about all the moments in your past where you faced uncertainty. At the time, you might have thought, I do not know how I'll get through this. But you did. You adapted, you grew, you found a way. And if you did it then, why doubt that you can do it again? Life has always taken care of you, even when you did not realize it. The greatest freedom comes when you understand that you do not need to have all the answers right now. You do not need to know exactly what will happen next year, next month, or even tomorrow. All you need to know is that whatever comes, you will handle it as it arrives. This understanding removes the unnecessary burden from your shoulders and allows you to breathe, to live, to experience life as it is meant to be experienced. Instead of being consumed by worry, shift your focus to what you can do now. If there is a problem, take a step towards solving it. If there is uncertainty, embrace it as part of the adventure. If there is fear, recognize it, but do not let it control you. Every moment you spend taking action is a moment you reclaim from worry. Every moment you choose to be present is a moment truly lived. There will always be things you cannot control, but within you there is something that remains steady. something that is not shaken by the passing waves of life. If you can connect with that, if you can trust yourself and trust life, then worry will have no power over you. You will no longer live in fear of what might come. You will live in the reality of what is. So take a deep breath and let go. Let go of the need to know everything. Let go of the illusion that worry will somehow protect you. Let go of the idea that your future must be exactly as you planned. Instead, step fully into this moment and see life as it is unfolding, evolving, always moving forward. When you stop worrying about the future, you finally make space to truly live. Life is happening right now, not yesterday, not tomorrow, right now. But where are you? Are you here, fully alive in this moment? Or are you lost in thoughts about the future, constantly anticipating what is to come, hoping for something better or fearing something worse? This is the struggle of the human mind. It is rarely present where life is unfolding. It is always reaching for something beyond this moment, thinking that happiness, success, or fulfillment lies somewhere in the distant future. But if you look closely, you will see that life has never been in the future. It has always been here in this moment. The problem is not that the future is uncertain. The problem is that you have forgotten how to be where you are. You keep postponing your happiness, telling yourself, I will be at peace when I achieve this, or I will finally be happy when I reach that goal. But what happens when you get there? The mind immediately creates a new goal, a new desire, a new worry. And so you spend your entire life chasing something that always remains just out of reach. This is why people who have everything, the wealth, the achievements, the success, are still restless. They have everything they once dreamed of, yet they are still anxious about what comes next. Why? Because they never learned to enjoy the present. They spent their whole lives worrying about the future, and when the future arrived, they were still trapped in the same habit of worrying. You must understand that the future will never bring you happiness if you do not know how to be happy now. The future will never bring you peace if you have not found peace in this moment. The way you live today is the way you will live tomorrow. If you are constantly in a state of worry, then no matter how much success or security you gain, your mind will find new things to worry about. If you truly want to be free, you must break this cycle now. Look at children. Have you ever seen how fully they live? They do not sit around worrying about what will happen tomorrow. They play, they laugh, they explore, they fall and get up again without overthinking. They live without carrying the burden of the future on their shoulders. And yet, as we grow older, we lose this ability. We become so consumed by our plans, our fears, our ambitions, that we forget how to simply be. But what if you could return to that state of ease? What if instead of living in constant anticipation of the future, you could find joy in where you are right now? What if you could experience life not as a series of stressful goals, but as a continuous unfolding of moments, each one complete in itself? The mind will tell you that this is not possible. It will say, no, I must plan, I must prepare, I must worry, otherwise, how will I succeed? But think about it. Has worry ever helped you? Has it ever truly prepared you for the future? Or has it only drained your energy and taken you away from the beauty of the present moment? Success does not come from worry. It comes from clarity. And clarity comes when your mind is free from unnecessary noise. Imagine you're standing in a river, trying to see the reflection of the sky in the water. If the water is disturbed, filled with ripples and waves, you cannot see anything clearly. But if the water is still, suddenly everything becomes visible. This is how your mind works. When it is filled with worry about the future, your vision is clouded. But when you become still, when you stop resisting and simply trust, everything becomes clear. The truth is, you do not need to control every aspect of your future. You do not need to have everything figured out right now. Life is not a rigid structure that needs to be planned to the last detail. It is a flowing journey, an unfolding process. And the more you learn to trust this process, the more effortless your life will become. If you look back at your life, you will see that many of the best things happen not because you forced them, but because they unfolded naturally. Perhaps you met someone who changed your life in an unexpected way. Perhaps you discovered an opportunity that you never could have planned for. Perhaps a failure led you to something far greater than you originally aimed for. Life is always moving, always arranging things in ways that you cannot yet see. But if you are too busy worrying, you will miss it. Instead of obsessing over where you will be in 5 or 10 years, ask yourself, how can I make this moment meaningful? Instead of fearing the future, focus on doing what you can right now. Because this moment is the only place where life is actually happening. Everything else is just a thought, a possibility, an imagination. People spend years of their lives worrying about what might happen, only to look back and realize that all those years were wasted in fear. But by the time they realize it, it is too late. Those years are gone. Do not let this be your story. Do not let your life slip away while you are too busy worrying about a future that has not yet come. The irony is, the more you focus on the present, the better your future becomes. When you give your full energy to the task at hand, you naturally create a better tomorrow. When you stop worrying and start acting with clarity, you move in the right direction effortlessly. The most successful people are not those who are trapped in fear about the future. They are the ones who are fully engaged in the present. So the question is, are you living fully in this moment? Or are you waiting for some future event to give you permission to live? Are you postponing your happiness, thinking that it will come later, once everything is perfect? Or are you realizing that life is already here, waiting for you to embrace it? If you truly understand this, you will stop being a prisoner of the future. You will no longer see life as something that is always ahead of. You will realize that everything you need is already here. Peace is not something that exists in some distant tomorrow. It is something you can experience right now. Joy is not something you will find one day. It is something you can cultivate in this very moment. So take a breath, feel this moment fully. Let go of the idea that your future must be a certain way for you to be happy. Trust that life will unfold as it needs to, and that you will meet it with the strength and wisdom that you have always carried within you. When you stop worrying about the future, you finally become free to live. Life is not waiting for you somewhere in the future. It is happening right now. Yet so many live as if this moment is just a stepping stone, just a means to an end, always looking ahead, always hoping that the next stage will bring fulfillment. But if you truly observe, you will see that tomorrow never comes as tomorrow. It only ever arrives as today. And if you do not know how to embrace today, you will never know how to embrace life. You have spent so much time worrying about things that may never happen. So much energy has been wasted on imaginary fears, on problems that only exist in the mind. But has all that worry made your life any better? Has it ever brought you peace, or has it only robbed you of the joy that was always within your reach? The truth is, life does not require your constant anxiety. It does not need your fear. It only asks that you be present, that you trust its unfolding, that you engage with what is real rather than what is imagined. There is a certain intelligence in existence, a certain rhythm to life that has been functioning long before you arrived and will continue long after you are gone. The sun does not hesitate to rise. The rivers do not question their path, and the trees do not worry about their growth. Everything in nature simply flows. But the human mind, in its endless desire for control, resists this natural flow. And in that resistance, suffering is born. But what if you let go? What if, instead of constantly reaching for a future that does not yet exist, you fully immersed yourself in the life that is happening right now? What if you trusted that whatever comes, you will handle it when it arrives, just as you have handled everything else in your life? If you can drop your worries about the future, you will experience a profound freedom. You will no longer be a prisoner of fear. You will no longer postpone your happiness, thinking that it lies somewhere ahead. You will wake up each day knowing that this right here is your life, not a rehearsal, not a waiting period, but the real thing. And in that realization, you will find a peace that no future achievement can give you. So take a deep breath. Let go of the burden of tomorrow. Step fully into this moment, for this is where life is. And when you do, you will see that there was never anything to worry about. Life has always been taking care of itself, and it will take care of you too.